How did Portugal, a country known for its rich history, amazing culture and beautiful landscapes, find itself in the throes of a severe housing crisis? This is a question many of us might be asking. To understand the current housing crisis in Portugal, we need to delve into a complex web of socio-economic factors that have contributed to it. Firstly, we have the mandatory inheritance rules. These rules complicate the liquidation of estates, making it difficult to free up properties that could potentially be on the market. Next, there's the opaque property registry. This lack of transparency makes it impossible for the public to identify the owners of abandoned houses, which further exacerbates the problem. Then we have the wealthy Portuguese who own empty real estate, often as investments in the attractive Algarve region. This reduces the number of available properties for locals to rent or buy. And let's not forget the calculated deception and artificial inflation of property prices. This two-tiered system, one for foreigners and one for locals, makes it harder for average Portuguese citizens to afford housing. The low productivity of Portuguese workers, linked to an abusive elite and social stratification, also plays a part in the crisis. Finally, migration has accelerated the problem by increasing demand for housing. Understanding these causes helps us see the bigger picture, a complex web of socio-economic factors that have led to this crisis. Welcome to Travel Guide Roy. So what does this all mean for the people of Portugal? How has the crisis affected the everyday person? Picture this scenario. You are an industrious Portuguese individual. Maybe you're a teacher, a nurse, or a small business proprietor. The majority of your day is spent providing services, contributing to your society, and essentially striving to create a better life. However, at the end of the day, you come back to a tight apartment that consumes a large part of your earnings. This is the harsh truth for many in Portugal. The housing crisis has made affordable housing extremely hard to come by. It's not rare for families to use more than half of their income on rent, leaving barely any left for other essentials such as food, healthcare, education. The impact is especially severe on the working class. Those who were already finding it hard to get by are now finding it even more difficult to secure a home. The pressure is tremendous, and it's leading to an increase in homelessness and housing instability. Nevertheless, the implications extend beyond just housing. The crisis is spawning broader socioeconomic challenges. It's expanding the disparity between the wealthy and the poor, driving people out of their neighbourhoods and altering the very essence of Portuguese society. It's not just about being able to afford a house. It's about being able to live a life with dignity, to have stability, and to build a future. The impacts of this crisis are extensive, affecting not only housing but the overall quality of life for many Portuguese. Now that we've identified the problem and its impact, what can be done to address this crisis? What strategies can Portugal adopt? First, let's talk about the elephant in the room: unoccupied properties. Many properties in Portugal are sitting empty, particularly in the centre and north of the country. By enforcing laws that require owners to rent these properties and giving priority to renters under 35 or families experiencing income drops, we can make better use of these existing housing resources. Next, we have the issue of rising rental costs. By capping increases in rental contracts, limiting the rise to 2% above the previous contract, we can keep housing affordable for more Portuguese residents. The Golden Visa program is another area ripe for reform. This program grants residence permits to wealthy foreign investors buying property in Portugal, exacerbating the housing shortage. By ending this program, we can alleviate some of the pressure on the housing market. Let's not forget about the impact of short-term vacation rentals. By halting new licenses for these rentals, except in rural areas, we can further ease the strain on the housing supply. Switching commercial property to housing use is another viable strategy. This would increase the available housing stock, offering more options for Portuguese residents in need of affordable homes. Leveraging foreign investment strategically is an additional avenue to explore. This could involve inviting investors to renovate abandoned dwellings, with obligations to convert them into hotels or rental properties. Additionally, we could encourage direct investment in building houses for rent, creating a build-to-rent model to increase housing supply. Even setting up a national fund, similar to programs in the Caribbean, where investors contribute in exchange for residency or citizenship, could be an effective strategy. By addressing these causes, And implementing these strategies, Portugal can begin to alleviate its housing crisis, paving the way towards a more sustainable and equitable housing future. Remember, change won't happen overnight, but with careful planning and strategic action, we can make a difference. We can create a better, brighter housing future for Portugal. Before we wrap up, let's talk about how you, dear viewers, can play a part in this change. It's important to remember that change doesn't happen in isolation. We all have a role to play in shaping our communities and our countries. So how can you contribute to this cause? First, be informed. Stay updated about the housing crisis in Portugal and the strategies being implemented to address it. Use your voice to raise awareness about this issue among your peers. Share this video with your friends, family, colleagues, and social media followers. Engage in discussions about the housing crisis and the potential solutions. Second, support local initiatives that aim to address the housing crisis. This could be anything from supporting local housing charities, participating in community-led housing projects, or advocating for policy changes. Finally, if you're in a position to do so, consider investing in the Portuguese housing market. As we've discussed, foreign investment can play a critical role in addressing this crisis if it's done strategically and responsibly. By investing in renovation projects or build-to-rent models, you can contribute to the solution while also potentially earning a return on your investment. Remember, every little bit helps. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can create a brighter housing future for Portugal. Scene 5, End Sting. Thank you for watching Travel Guide Roy. If you enjoyed this video and found it informative, please like, share, and subscribe for more content. Your engagement helps us keep producing videos like this one and helps spread awareness about important issues like the housing crisis in Portugal. And remember, we all have a role to play in creating a better world. Thank you for being part of the solution.